I can see her lying back in her satin dress, in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown, you better.
Hey everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. All right, this is, Mr. Wally Feck is getting a double dose here because I think at some point I'm going to put in another beer review. Maybe I'll put it at the end of this. But this is his rye double IPA. It is 8.5%, and I just figured this is a Mike Dean sessionable, so I figured it was a good beer to do for this Homebrew Wednesday. So hang on. Okay. I have a lot of collabs to review, and oh wow, this is pretty. I'll stop there. I see some stuff coming in. There's a little bit of sediment, not much, a little bit of sediment at the bottom. But I got a lot of collabs to do. One with Wally, one with Stein, then I've got a three-way barley wine review to do. It's gonna be a fun New Year, I think. And especially to get past 2020. But yeah, there you go. There's Wally's double IPA. It looks like a double IPA. Look at that nice two-finger head, nice pillowy off-white head, and he's got kind of a copper color going on there for the and a little bit of slight haze, not much, but it looks like a double IPA. So let's get a nose. Getting absolutely nothing on the nose. No, I shouldn't say that. Getting some slight hop character. He doesn't list the hops on here, so I'm not really sure what it is, but if I had to guess, let me see if I could guess. He likes Ron Mexico. I'm thinking maybe he put Ron Mexico in here because I am getting a little bit of citrus, so. Anyway, all right, not much on the nose, a little slight citrus, I think. Looks like it's got great lacing, so I know it's 8.5%, so you would expect that, but let's get into it. Cheers, Wally. Lovely. The flavor follows the citrus on the nose. Oh man, now I'm getting the nose. I'm getting sticky pine, a lot of citrus. Yeah, I just had to break through that. Pillowy head. I do a little technique here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, big dankness. A little bit of that kind of garlic smell. Like, yeah, this is a yeah, it's definitely a double. And the cool thing is my sister, my sister looked at the label and she said, ooh, that's a double IPA because I see two eyes. I'm like, yeah. So my sister went from like hating beer to now she's like a beer aficionado. Well, she loves dark sweet beers that are over 12%, kind of like my wife, but had a really, Wally, this is awesome. This is a perfect beer to do a Homebrew Wednesday for. Had a lovely evening last night. I'm gonna talk about that first because it's fresh in my memory. Some of our friends live just across town in Alexandria, and they invited us over last night to come. We were gonna do it on the 26th, the day after Christmas. But, because of COVID-19, we were going to sit outside with heaters and all that, and it was just butt cold on the 26th of December, so we're like, let's not go out there in like 20-degree weather, and I think with a chill factor, it was going to be down to like 17 degrees or something like that. So anyway, we pushed it to last night, so we went over there, and it was so much fun. She had some barbecue dinner. We brought some snacks, and they had like all these really cool. I guess they did 3 of the what do you call them? What's it called? The Advent calendar. they did 3 of those. I think they were originally going to buy 1, and then 2 more came. So every day they've been opening up a new surprise mystery beer, and so they had all these cool beers that came in, and so we had all these really cool. We had On the Wings of Armageddon. We had this like French toast imperial stout beer. We had like the really nice Belgian triple. We had a sour ale from Stone, and it was like 12%. All these, actually, was it 12%? No, 10%. All these really cool beers, and we just sat and kind of went through them, and just, that with a fire, and we hadn't seen them in so long, and, you don't realize how, I don't want to say depressing, but how, crappy it is sitting in your house all the time. You don't realize, you get so used to the 4 walls, and when you finally break out for something other than a trip to go get gas or to run to work for something or to go to the grocery store, something where you can just hang out with friends outside, and, it was just so much fun. And then there was no threat of us giving them COVID because, we've had COVID. So, anyway, it was just a lot of fun and a lovely evening. So we did that last night. Had our Christmas and I did a brew day on Christmas Eve, and I think I'll cut away here to talk about that. All right, so this is the grist. I got my grain crusher finally set to like a perfect grain crush, I think, for me. So very happy with it. This is about, I don't know what I say, well, I can't remember, 13.75 pounds of grain. This is gonna be I call it the Utterly Delicious Maple Porter. It's gonna have let's see, 8 pounds of Maris Otter, 2 pounds of smoked malt, 3/4 ounces of black patent debittered, a pound and a half of, a pound and a half of Caramel 120, and then a pound of Gold Pills Vienna. So, and then I'm gonna put some maple syrup in it. And then I'm using for yeast the Imperial Darkness. So anyway, I'll come back later. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. So I'm in the spar stage of I'm doing a robust porter. It's going to be a smoked maple porter. I call it Dean's Utterly Delicious smoked maple porter because it's got Maris Otter, smoked malt, a generous amount, 2 pounds of smoked malt, and I'm putting in a pound of this nice robust tasting dark maple syrup. So it's going to be about 8.2%, I think, if my efficiency matches what's on Beersmith for my system. And figured I'd celebrate with a Deschutes Black Boot Porter. This is not a robust porter. It's only 5.5%, but it's actually pretty tasty. Hope you can see the color of that. You can actually see through it when there's light behind it. I don't know if you can see that, but I think my color is pretty much spot on. So anyway, maybe I'll come back a little bit later as we start doing the hop drops and stuff. Cheers. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. All right, trying to get to the hot break. It's a lot of proteins in this one. It's working me. It's working me. It was a Imperial, it's Dean's Utterly Delicious Smoked Maple Porter. And I didn't get it quite as dark as I wanted because they didn't have the exact malts that I wanted, so I had to kind of substitute, and I think I should have went a little heavier on the darker side, so I missed my color just a little bit. It'll look like a Doppelbock or something. It won't look like a porter, but anyway, I was shooting for a target gravity of 1077 or 1073, and I hit 1080. And I just did a gravity check on it, and it's all the way down to 1010. So I brewed this on Christmas Eve. It's been fermenting since Christmas Eve. Today's the 29th, so it's all the way down to 1010. So it's going to be a 9.4% Imperial Porter. It's definitely Imperial. A little over sessionable for me, I think. but I put 2 pounds of smoked malt because I did a porter with Stein, and I did 1 pound of smoked malt, and I didn't really get the smokiness in it. So I'll put 2. Yeah, 2's, yeah, maybe I should have done 1.5 pounds, but it's okay. It'll be smoky. I'm thinking based on the taste of it, which it tastes really, really good, I think I'm gonna put it in the barrel. Because I got bourbon, Kentucky bourbon in there right now. I think I'm gonna put some more Kentucky bourbon, spice it up a little bit more, and then I think I'm gonna put that Imperial in the barrel, let that sit for a couple of months, probably till about February, and then I'm going to brew up an IPA, like a 7% IPA, or maybe even old school that I can get on tap in place of what I was gonna do with the porter. So that's my plan. That'll take about 3 weeks to get the IPA ready, so I won't have a third tap going until third week of January, but that's fine. And then sometime in February, March, late February, I'll have my Imperial smoked maple porter ready to go, and I think it'll be really good. So sent out all my beer mails, did the brew day, had a great Christmas. Yeah, what else is there to say? I mean, we're winding down the end of 2020. What a year. Let's see, when's New Year's Eve? So today's the 29th, 30, yeah. So I'm not gonna get the, I'm not even gonna do, last year and the year before I did these like New Year's Eve or right before New Year's, Homebrew Wednesdays where I went through every single brew day that I did. I'm not gonna do that this year because this 2020 sucked, but what I will do is say I started off, this was going to be the year of the lager, and I definitely accomplished that. I brewed probably 8 lagers this year, 7 or 8 lagers. I mean, I brewed a lot of lagers. I did a Pilsner, I did a Munich Dunkel, did that for my SJ Port competition. It didn't go anywhere, but I did that. It was underappreciated or misunderstood. I did a German Pilsner, I did... I did a whole bunch of lagers. I can't even remember all the lagers that I did. I did a Hellesbach. What I didn't do was a Helles, and I should have done a Helles. I really like doing Helleses, but anyway, I brewed a whole bunch of. I did Oktoberfest. I mean, yeah. Well, maybe I didn't do 8. Maybe I did like 5 lagers, but that was all I was brewing after the New Year. Was like lager, 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 lager. I didn't do a Doppelbock, and I really want to do a Doppelbock. So I think I'm gonna. And I just had a Star Hill Doppelbock, and this one was really good. I got this from my good friend Aaron, who teaches yoga. But she does yoga. She goes to breweries locally here in DC area, and then after their yoga, they all go and drink beer. I mean, it's really cool. But I think we're gonna do a yoga class with her on New Year's Eve or something, New Year's Day. But anyway, yeah, so I did a bunch of lagers. I did 2 collabs. I did the collab with Wally Feck, which was the big-ass barrel-aged barley wine, and we're still waiting to do our kind of mutual sampling on that. Maybe we'll do that early in the new year. And then I did a collab with Stein for a porter, a breakfast porter. That was fun. But yeah, I think there's going to be a January 8th, I believe, BrewTubers meeting coming up, so I'm probably going to dial into that. I think it's going to be a big Zoom call. They have an experiment coming up, and I don't know. I'm not kind of big into the experiment. I like doing like yeast experiments and hop experiments and malt experiments, but these guys are a little bit into the science, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not. I'm a little less focused, I guess. My brewing style, it doesn't lend itself well to getting that deep into the periodic table, so I'll probably lay off that, but I totally support those guys. It's really cool to see them do those experiments. But next time we do just your run-of-the-mill hop experiment or yeast experiment, I'll probably jump into that. So that's good that the BrewTubers, have that going on. And Gary Fortin from Tap Out Brewing, he's been really instrumental, really all these years, in keeping the BrewTuber community going. So thank you, Gary, for doing that. Sent you a beer mail, and I saw one of your reviews on that beer. I'm really, really want to know. I really want to know what everybody thinks about the barley wine, because I'm so proud of that thing. But what else? Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say other than, 2020 was the year of COVID, and it's just been a kind of a shitty year. It wiped out NHC this year. You know, it wiped out a lot of things. It wiped out some of my family members that I really, you know, love and miss. And you know, it started out with my dog dying in January, Zach, and, you know, just, I want to forget, I don't want to forget this year because some good things happened. I got a new job that I'm really happy in. And so I'm certainly thankful, but just this year, just overall, it's just kind of been a little crappy. I'm not going to do the year. I'm not going to do a lager year this year. I'm going to brew. I'm probably going to spend this year really honing in on barrel age stuff. I've got this barrel now. I'm kind of digging into it. I'm going to do barrel age. I'm going to do probably, yeah, I'm going to try to say 3 or 4, 4 on the high end, 3 on the low end of good barrel aged beers. And see how much I can get out of this barrel. So that's one thing I'm going to focus on for this year. And then the second thing is going to be IPAs. I'm going to get back to like brewing a bunch of IPAs and do some of those. So, and I might throw in a few extra special bitters because I really like ESBs, and I haven't done one in a long time. I think I do those really well. So I might brew 1 or 2 of those. So that's going to be my focus this year: barrel aged beers, IPAs, and bitters. So anyway, that's all I got for today. It's been, wow, 13 minutes. I just rambled on for a long time, so hopefully it wasn't too boring. But I'll throw up the brew day footage and the review from Mr. Feck's other beer that I tasted. What was it? I'll have to think about it. Don't even remember, but you'll see it when it comes up, and it was really good. I remember that. So anyway, have yourself a happy homebrew. And stay tuned for the beer review that's coming up right after this. And have a happy homebrew Wednesday and a very happy New Year. Cheers. Love me some Imperial IPAs. Thank you, Wally. What's up, homebrewers? So this is probably going to go in my homebrew Wednesday if I do one this coming Wednesday. But this is a Czech Pilsner from Mr. Wally Feck. Very excited about this because, as you know, I really love Pilsners and I really love Czech Pilsner. This thing is 6%. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. 6%. I've got a good Pils glass. Let's get into this. Nice and clear, Wally. I'm going to pour this very careful because I don't want to screw it up. Is beautiful. I think I did the perfect pour too. Look at that. Look at that pour, look at that head. Look at those bubbles streaming up. Nice and clear. Oh God, this is beautiful. It is Christmas Day. I got some really cool, I'll probably show them in another, I don't know, maybe they'll make it in this Homebrew Wednesday, but I always get these. First of all, let's get a nose on this. Not getting much on the nose right now, I got a big head on this, but I asked, I keep complaining to my wife that the snifter glasses we have are too big. They're like 12, 14 ounce snifter glasses, and we drink a lot of big beers in this house, so I wanted, you know, one that was a little smaller. So she got me those little nice sample size snifters, which is like perfect for like imperial stouts and stuff. And it's good for me because I don't need to be drinking 12 ounces of imperial stouts all the time. And that's what my wife likes. She likes big old barrel bourbon 12 plus like stouts. So anyway. All right, starting to get a little bit of bread. Not getting a whole lot through the head, but look at that beautiful white pillow head. I want to say this is the second Czech Pilsner I've drunk in the last couple of weeks. Homebrewed. Okay, all right, maybe my nose is just off, but let's go ahead and cheers, Wally. Wow, that's a really... Okay, now I'm getting the smell. Now I'm broken through the head. And one thing I love about Pilsners is the head on these things do look like you're you look on the top, it's just pillowy, just like ruffles of. It's not like one flat, tightly packed. It's like, you know, lumps and bubbles of just real thick, frothy, you know, white, snow white head. It's one of the most beautiful beers, I think, is a well brewed Pilsner. And this thing, all right, man, this is it's not, I wouldn't say it's complex, but it actually is kind of complex. Man, this is one of those beers that's just a nice, smooth flavor all the way across. I've said this on, what was the last one that I tasted that was kind of gave me the same kind of sensation? I think it was the cucumber saison, the cucumber jalapeno saison from Gary Fortin. But it had this kind of smooth kind of flavor experience all the way through. This one is the same way. It's very clean. It's very dry. It hits you with the carbonation is perfect for a Pilsner. And then as the carbonation kind of, as the bubbles start popping, I guess, or whatever, and it gives you this kind of creamy, you know, it washes the flavor and the hops like over the back of your tongue on the finish. It's really, really nice. Yeah, and I'm getting the nose now. It's got, you know, that classic kind of bready, noble hops on a Pilsner. God, these things are so easy to drink. The bitterness kind of finishes right in the middle of your tongue, kind of towards the back. Just lovely. What a great Pilsner. This is a good one. I can tell you did everything right. I can tell you did the DMS rest. It was probably the DMS boil. Probably did a 90-minute boil. Yeah, I think I just did a Czech Pilsner. I think my buddy Stein. I think I tried his Czech Pilsner, and it was good too. This is terrific, Wally. I think the difference is Stein's had a little bit of chill haze. This thing is like super clear. Yeah. Man, the mouthfeel in this thing is wonderful. And that's what I was talking about when I tasted Stein's beer. I said, you know, I read somewhere you can tell if you want to know if a brewery's good, look on their menu, and if they have a Pilsner, drink their Pilsner first. And if it's good, everything is going to be good, because these are one of those beer styles that's got a blank canvas and you can't really hide anything behind it. So it's all about the hop select, or the hops, how you do the hops, putting the right hops in with the right hop schedule, so you get just the right bitterness. The grain is really, really important, because there's not a whole lot to it. A lot of Pilsen malt, and some people throw some, like, you know, a little bit of Munich in, but you know, there's not a whole lot you put in terms of malt. So it's really it's kind of the classic, you know, water, barley, hops, and yeast. I mean, that's how you make one of these. There's no adjuncts or anything you throw in here, so it's just a very clean beer. And if someone is a good brewer, they can do these right. And this one is I call it the perfect Pilsner. This one is really good. As you can tell, I'm drinking it so fast. Oh, man, I can imagine sitting out on the back porch on a super hot day, drinking a pound of one of these. It would be inhaled. Man, super job, Wally. This is freaking terrific. And that head is staying all the way to the bottom. Look how clear, like nothing in there. Very clean beer. Actually, there's still a little left. Let me see if it's clear all the way through to the end, which it is. Super clear. I don't know how Wally does that. I usually get some crap in my beers in the bottom. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Wally. His is super clean. There's absolutely nothing in there. Well, good job, Wally. I'm gonna go ahead and go, but this. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, guys. Cheers.